Hi, this is Bill Raymond, and welcome to the next video in my series on creating a Docker AI image. This video is going to be mostly slides because what I want to do is walk you through how Docker creates images so you get familiarity with that. So when you go to the next video and we actually create the image, you have a better sense as to what's going on. If you already know how Docker works, skip this video. Now, as a reminder, what we're trying to do is build this Docker image so that then we can use this for any machine learning and AI project that comes our way. And so we're going to focus on building this Docker image, and I want to walk you through the process for how we do that. If you have ever installed Python or any of these other tools on your computer before, you know that you need to go into this thing called a terminal window, and you're going to go to the website for Python, Pandas, whatever tool that you are going to install, and it provides instructions. And it's those instructions that you're going to copy and paste into a terminal window, and then they will be installed on your local computer. Now, you'll notice a few different things here. If we take a look at those commands, you'll see the word sudo in front of that. You'll see the word pip3 in front of some of the others. These are all commands that you use in order to do the installation. Now, if you're going to do a Docker image, then you're going to create a Docker file. You won't use a terminal window now. You're going to use a thing called a Docker file. And that Docker file is going to have commands that look very similar to what that terminal window is, except for a few differences. First of all, you're going to see the very first command is the operating system. Remember, we're going to have a base operating system for our Docker image. In this case, we're going to use Ubuntu. So that's what that first from line is. You'll also notice that the commands are going to be very similar. It's almost exactly the same from the instructions on a website, except you won't have the word sudo in front of it. Very rarely would you ever. And you'll also have the word run in front of it. So anytime you see the command run in a Docker file, what you're doing is you're telling Docker that you want to run this terminal command, and then after that, it's the same exact command you would run if you were to install this product on your own computer. So let's look at this in action. Here's our Docker file, and we're saying we're going to use the Ubuntu operating system. That creates what's called a layer in Docker. And then as we run each one of these commands, Docker is going to create layer upon layer, and each one of those layers is going to require more overhead. As you can see right now, we have 5 layers. 5 layers isn't a whole lot, by the way, as far as many Docker images go. However, we do want to keep them as slim and trim as possible. So that's why what we can do is actually reduce the layers by using some various little tricks. And one of those is to go ahead and build the Docker image as we normally would. However, once we get to a grouping of things like, for example, machine learning and AI tools that we want, we could install those all together at the same time, just like this. So you can see we're running this pip3 install numpy, and then you see that backslash next to it. Underneath that line is installing scikit-learn. It's using one run command, but it's actually just displaying it on the Docker file in 2 lines, but it's one run command, which means less layers. So now we have 4 instead of 5 layers. Now you might be wondering, well, when do you create layers and not create layers? Now, as I mentioned before, if you are doing something, let's say, that's specific for that Docker file, it's machine learning and AI in this case, maybe you're going to just install that Pandas product, which is specifically for ML and AI, and you're going to put it in that layer. On the other hand, maybe you have some specialty tool that you like to install. It's your own personal favorite, but it's not necessarily specific to the task of doing machine learning and AI things. So then you might put that on its own layer. If you share this Docker file with someone, they can see, oh, this person added this extra layer for this specialty tool that I don't want, and they can just comment or remove that line. Now, I feel like I'm going to go a little off the deep end with this topic, but I kind of feel like it's important for you to know about this, especially if you haven't worked with a lot of Docker images or the command line in the past. So there are these things called package managers. You've already seen me use two of them in examples throughout this video. And you've seen apt get, which is also referred to as apt, and you've also seen pip3 or pip or something like that. There are these things out there called package managers. And the purpose with these package managers is to help you install software from the internet. So, for example, let's talk about that apt product or apt get that you saw. When you install Ubuntu, the operating system, it actually comes with a package manager called apt. And that apt package manager got shipped with your version of Ubuntu and therefore has a list of all of the packages that it knows about on the internet. And it's a set period of time that it knows about those versions. So let's look at this. For example, let's say that I have this list of useful apps that apt is aware of, and I'm interested in this useful app number 2. Doesn't matter what it is. So you say apt-get install useful app number 2. So it diligently goes out to the internet, locates that version, downloads it back onto your computer and installs it, and now you're ready to use it. However, what you just installed was that version that apt was aware of, and that is the version 0.03. And you say, whoa, wait a minute, Bill. There's a newer version. It's called version 1.5, and it has all these great features. I want that. So in order to go through that process of getting version 1.5, think about apt as having its own little local database of all the versions that it's aware of. What you would do first is update the apt database. So you say, hey, apt, update yourself. It goes down and gets the latest version of the database and then updates your computer. And it says, oh, by the way, here's newer versions of these products, including that 1.5 that you wanted. Then you can go ahead and install that product that you were looking for originally, which is a 1.5, and it will diligently do that for you. You'll see that that happens with all of the other package managers that are out there, whether it's pip, conda, npm, there's thousands of these out there. Many of them are specific to a unique operating system or a specific set of tasks. In almost all cases, though, you're going to find that package manager that you want. You're going to install that package manager, or it comes free with the operating system like apt. And then you're going to go ahead and update the package manager. Then you're going to install the product that you want, and then you'll be able to use that product, that app. So that's just a quick overview, and you're going to see me do this with the Docker file. You're going to be going, why is it that I have to update these things and then do this installation? It's for this reason. I always want the latest version of the package manager's database. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more like this, please like, comment, and click the bell to support my channel.